My name's Vince. I'm 22. And I swear to you, what happened in this story still sits in my chest like a memory that refuses to fade. You ever join a game at some ungodly hour, like 3 a.m., expecting nothing but bots, sleepy players, or people who sound like they're 1 yawn away from passing out? Yeah, that was me. It was one of those nights where I wasn't really playing to win. I wasn't trying to grind ranked. I wasn't even trying to socialize. I just needed something, a distraction, a reason not to overthink, a place where the noise in my head would quiet down for at least a moment. So I hit Q, and what I found in that 3 a.m. lobby didn't feel human at first. Not because it was scary, not because something paranormal happened, but because of how strange, warm, and oddly perfect the timing of everything was. It felt like walking into a room where everyone somehow already knew the exact things you needed, before you even said a word. And the craziest part? It all started with one simple voice on the mic saying, "Yo, you good?" I didn't know it yet, but that 3 a.m. lobby was about to become one of the most unexpectedly emotional nights of my life. A night that reminded me of something I had forgotten for a long time. Sometimes the people you meet in the quietest hours are the ones who understand you the most. So there I was, loading into a match when the whole world felt asleep. You know that feeling? When your room is dim, your monitor is the only source of light, and the silence around you is so thick it feels like its own atmosphere. The clock said 3:04 a.m., and I told myself, all right, one game, just one. When the lobby loaded, I immediately noticed something weird. It was quiet, not the usual 3 a.m. chaos where someone's eating chips, someone's blasting music, and someone else is half asleep snoring into their mic. No, this lobby was calm. Then I heard it. A soft, low voice, young but steady. "Yo, you good?" I didn't respond right away. I thought maybe he was talking to someone else. But then he added, "Hey, Vince, right? You got mic issues or something?" He read my username. He was talking to me. My hands kind of froze. I wasn't used to people sounding genuinely concerned in a ranked lobby. Yeah, I'm good," I said, trying not to sound tired. He chuckled lightly. Cool. You sounded sad for a second. Just checking." That line hit me way harder than it should have. Nobody knew I had spent the whole night overthinking life. Nobody knew I queued to escape my own mind. Yet somehow, this random 3 a.m. teammate did. Something about that made the lobby feel less like a game, and more like stepping into a room where someone actually noticed you. One by one, the rest of the team started talking. And here's the weird part. Everyone sounded normal. Not angry, not trolling, not chaotic, just human. Player 2 had this sleepy, half-laugh kind of voice. Player 3 talked like someone who had been awake for way too long, but was still surprisingly friendly. Player 4 sounded shy, like the type who'd mute until he absolutely had to speak. Then there was the guy who talked to me first. Let's call him Kai. Kai spoke with this calm confidence, the kind that makes you feel like everything's gonna be fine, even in a game where nothing ever goes fine. Before the match started, he said something I don't usually hear in late-night lobbies. "All right, boys, let's make this a chill game. Yeah? No stress." Everyone agreed. Everyone. There was this immediate sense of chemistry, like the vibe was already set before we even loaded into the map. At one point, the shy dude whispered, "It's kinda nice playing with people who aren't yelling." We all laughed, but in that laugh there was something real. Like maybe all of us were here at 3 a.m. for reasons we weren't saying out loud. And somehow that silence we shared wasn't empty. It felt safe. Like we were strangers. But the kind who felt strangely familiar. It didn't feel like a random team. It felt like a group that found each other at the exact right moment. And I couldn't shake the feeling that this night was going to be different. The match began, and immediately this lobby felt different. Usually, late-night games are either pure chaos, pure silence, or pure toxicity. But this, it was wholesome. Every call-out was positive. Every mistake was laughed off. Every small win got hyped like we just hit Radiant. When I whiffed a shot so badly it could have been used in a montage titled, "Why You Should Uninstall," Kai just said, "Bro, it's 3 a.m. Your crosshair's probably sleepy too. Everyone laughed. Even me. Then the shy guy, let's call him Miko, got a clutch he clearly didn't expect. Nice one, Miko. Let's go. You're cracked, my guy. You could hear his voice shake when he whispered, Thanks. It hit me right then that this was more than just a game. These small moments, they were healing in ways none of us realized yet. At one point, I caught myself smiling, really smiling, and I couldn't remember the last time a game actually made me feel that way. Not because of winning, not because of insane plays, but because it felt like we were a group of lonely people who somehow walked into the same room and accidentally created comfort together. And for some reason, that feeling stuck with me. We were mid-game when it happened. That moment where, without meaning to, you let a piece of your real self slip through. Kai was talking about how peaceful late-night matches were. Player 3 mentioned he played to wind down after work. Miko whispered that he played because he couldn't sleep. Then Kai asked, casually, "What about you, Vince? Why you up at 3 a.m.? I hesitated. I wasn't used to answering questions like that in a game lobby. I wasn't used to people caring. But something about the mood, the silence, the way everyone seemed genuinely listening. I found myself saying, honestly, just needed a break. Too much stuff on my mind, I guess. Kai hummed softly, not judging, not pushing, just acknowledging. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes the game is the only place where your brain shuts up for a bit. The others agreed, like we were all silently carrying something, and this match was our temporary escape. I wasn't emotional yet, but something in me loosened. It's strange how the softest environments crack the hardest walls. Not by force, just by warmth. And that 3 a.m. lobby? It was warm in a way that didn't feel normal. Like someone dimmed the lights in my brain and said, hey, you're safe to breathe here. For the first time in weeks, I felt lighter. The tone shifted slowly. Not dramatically, not suddenly. But in this gentle, natural way that made everything feel real. We were in the middle of a tense round when Kai got quiet. He wasn't muted, just silent. Then he said softly, sorry if I'm a bit off. Just been dealing with stuff too. Nobody laughed. Nobody brushed it off. Miko whispered, if you want to talk, we're here. It shocked me. Not because he said it, but because he meant it. Kai chuckled, but it didn't sound happy. You ever feel like you're the friend who keeps everyone else together, but nobody knows how to keep you together? The room went silent, because that wasn't a casual comment. That was the kind of line someone says when they're exhausted in a way regular sleep can't fix. I felt something heavy in my chest, because I had been there. Maybe we all had. I think, I said slowly, that people like you are usually hurting the most. Kai didn't answer right away, but when he did, his voice cracked just a little. Yeah, I guess that's why I'm online at 3 a.m. For a second, just one, the game didn't feel like a game. The kills didn't matter. The score didn't matter. It felt like 5 strangers accidentally walking into each other's loneliness and choosing to stay. We continued playing, but the atmosphere shifted into something deeper, the kind of late-night honesty you don't get in the daytime. Near the end of the match, Kai took a deep breath and admitted, I don't really talk about this with people, but I'm tired, man. Like, emotionally tired. Again, silence, but a comforting one. He continued, I just feel like I'm the one everyone depends on. And when I'm the one struggling, nobody notices. I swear, for a second, I felt my throat tighten, because I knew that feeling too well, because maybe all of us did. Player 3 said quietly, you're not alone, bro, even if it feels like it. Miko whispered, you sound strong, but even strong people break sometimes. I added, you don't have to carry everything alone. Not tonight. Kai laughed shakily. Funny, huh? Didn't expect my emotional support group to be a 3 a.m. ranked team. But he wasn't mocking. He was grateful. You could hear it in the way he breathed after, lighter, softer, like letting those words out took weight off his chest. It was at that moment I realized something. This wasn't random. This lobby wasn't an accident. Every single one of us joined this queue because some part of us needed people, even strangers. And somehow, in this tiny corner of the internet, 5 different stories collided in the quietest, most unexpectedly healing way. We entered the final rounds not as teammates, but as friends. Real ones. The synergy was insane. Not just gameplay-wise, but emotionally. Every clutch got celebrated like a birthday. Every mistake got shrugged off with kindness. But then came the round where everything clicked. It was a 2v4. Just me and Kai. And instead of panicking, he said, "Yo, Vince. No matter how this round goes, thanks for tonight." I smiled without wanting to. Same, man. Let's win this. We pushed. We traded. We covered each other perfectly. Not because we were cracked, but because we trusted each other. When we clutched the round together, the whole team erupted. Let's go. Duo of Destiny. Miko is taking notes right now. Felt warm. Not victory warm. Human warm. Kai actually laughed. A real laugh this time. "You guys are the first people I've talked to all week," he admitted softly. That hit me, because maybe we all needed this night more than we would ever fully admit. When the victory screen appeared, nobody left immediately. We just stayed, sitting in the post-game lobby like nobody wanted the night to end. Kai broke the silence first. "Hey, I don't know if this sounds cheesy, but thanks for existing tonight." The words hit harder than they should have. Player 3 said, "Same, bro. You helped more than you think." Miko whispered, "Can we play again sometime?" It was such a small question but filled with so much hope that it almost hurt. We all agreed. Not out of politeness, not out of routine, but because this lobby mattered. Before he left, Kai said, "Whatever you guys are going through, I hope tomorrow feels lighter." And then, quietly, "You made tonight feel less lonely." And one by one, everyone disconnected. Their names fading off the screen like lights turning off in a room. But the warmth stayed, like an echo that refused to leave. I sat there for a moment longer, staring at the empty lobby. Then I smiled to myself, a tired but genuine smile. The kind you only get after experiencing something rare. Something human. I know to some people it was just a 3 a.m. game. Just 5 strangers who happened to queue at the same time. But to me, it was a reminder. A reminder that connection doesn't always come from people you know. Sometimes it comes from people you never expected. Sometimes the safest conversations happen in places that don't feel real. Game lobbies, late-night queues, pixelated worlds. And sometimes the people who heal you the most are the ones you never meet again. I logged off that night feeling lighter. Not fixed. Not perfect. Just lighter. Like the weight I'd been carrying finally had a place to rest. So if you're hearing this right now, and you've been feeling alone or tired or stuck in your own head, I hope you find your own version of that 3 a.m. lobby. A moment, a team, a stranger, a friend. Someone who reminds you that you're seen, that you're heard, that you're not alone. And if you ever end up in a late-night game and hear someone whisper, "Yo, you good?" Maybe, just maybe, answer them honestly. Because you never know when a random lobby might become the place your heart needed most.